Hey, welcome to another episode of the Clean Money Podcast. This episode is brought to you courtesy of Umeme City, Rooftop Solar Simplified. Now, you've probably heard this term or you've probably used it, talking about financial freedom. What is financial freedom? How do people get to that land where they are financially free? I think most of us want to head on to that land and live in that land, but we don't know where it is and where the directions to get to that place is. So on this episode, I get the privilege of hanging out with Lucy Njina, who's a personal finance trainer and coach, and she'll take us through what it means to be financially free. Lucy, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Fine. Karibu. This land of freedom, yes, where finances are concerned. I want the map.
What is it and how do we get there?
Yes.
So thank you, Sana, Pastor James, for having me to just understand what is this financial freedom and how do we get there. And basically, being financially free is having the ability to make choices of the kind of lifestyle that you want to live. Like that one, and be able to support those choices that you make. Okay. Not just being able to make a choice in the mind. You know, the one of, if I have a lot of money, this is what I would do. Yeah. If I had a lot of money, these are the things I would buy if I had. But now we are saying when you're financially free, you have the ability to make those choices and actually implement them.
You can go to a restaurant and look at the menu and decide the food without bothering with this other side.
Exactly, exactly. So basically that is what is financial freedom. Okay. And not being in that space for just a few days. Because in the era where we live, a lot of us actually experience that kind of state, but only for a few days. Or 2 days, then at the end of the month, or when you've done a katenda and some money comes, you've done a business deal, some money comes. But we are saying that your every waking day, you're living in that space called financial freedom, where you are able to make the choices of the kind of lifestyle that you want to live, and you're not worried where is the money going to come from.
Is it possible to get to that place in a clean way? Because we live in a society where, you know, it's almost like every other person who has money, that money that's enough for them to do what they want to do. We always kind of think this one stole from somewhere.
Yes.
This one did this.
And especially now, the Kenya that we are living in, whenever we watch news, we read newspapers, it always surprises you that this guy I thought had money like this, kumbe. But there is a way that you can get there, but it takes time, it takes sacrifice, and it takes a lot of hard work. Those three things, and then you put God in the mix, definitely you will get there. It is not a quick fix. It takes time.
I like that, because a lot of young people have believed the lie that it's a quick fix. That's why you have a lot of young people running to betting shops and trying all manner of things.
Exactly.
For a quick fix.
Exactly. Yeah. So that is the mistake that we make, thinking that it's a quick fix, and so I try something very quickly for a month, for a year at most. If in 2 years I'm not in that space, then I give up and I want to try something else. The journey of wealth creation is a journey, and you know, a journey is a journey. It's not a race. You know, it's not a dash. It's a journey, and it takes time. So if you put in that journey, you put in the time, you put in the hard work, you put in the sacrifices, and sacrifice here with a capital letter. You put in the sacrifices and then put God. Definitely we shall get there. But unfortunately, very many of us live in the space called financial security. And that is what we confuse with financial freedom.
It's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing. Okay. And I'd like us to understand just what is financial security and how does it limit us from getting into financial freedom. Financial security is the space that we were taught to look for when we went to school. When you go to school, those of us that we went those days, we even had a song
Yes, right.
that told us, we go to school, we read hard.
So many vijana.
So many vijana.
Yeah.
It used to be a song actually.
I'm still looking for the person who sang that song. They have questions they need to
I'm
answer.
telling you, they
Yes.
need to answer questions.
Yes.
But anyhow, that is what you were taught. Go to school, read hard, get your degrees, then you'll get a job. And that job gives you security. So a lot of us go out to look for security. In fact, many of us, when you're called for an interview, the first thing you want to know is that job going to give me security?
Yeah.
Security meaning, how sure am I'll be able to work there from when I start working to until when I retire at 55 or at 60. That is the kind of security that we are looking at.
Yeah.
And then we also want to know, is this job going to give me any benefits?
Yes.
Like for example, will I be given a medical cover? Will I be given a house allowance? Will I be given a loan, a loan facility to
Yes.
buy a car, to buy a house? Does the job have any benefits? So those two things, in most cases, are what drive us when we go out to look for a job.
Okay.
Financial security and benefits. So that is the life that we live in.
Yes.
Unfortunately, when we were told to look for that job, no one told us that when you get that money, then what do you do with it?
Mwambie mwili pole.
So that is what we do.
Yes.
And what happens in most cases is where you go to work, whether it's a business you're setting up in that environment, where you go to set up your business,
Yeah.
then your money culture, how you spend money, how you relate with money, is determined by what you find the people who are there doing. If it's in the office, when you get your first check,
Yeah.
the people, your friends, the ones you found there, are the ones who are going to tell you, this is what we do around here with money. Or you're just going to observe what they do
Yeah.
with money.
People in this
Do
kind
they,
of position.
yes, do they dress, is their priority dressing expensively?
Yes.
Is their priority driving a good car? Is their priority living in a good neighborhood?
Yeah.
That is what determines now what becomes your money culture. What that leads us to is that space that I'm calling being in a financially secure zone,
Okay.
where you are living from month to month. When I get my salary at the end of the month, I just use it and finish it because
Yeah.
I have the security of another paycheck at the end of the month. So
Okay.
whatever I do with the money that I have now doesn't really matter, because at the end of the month, I am assured, I am secure, another check is coming.
And this money that I'm getting
Yes.
is money that I'm able to meet my needs.
Yes, yes,
I'm
comfortably.
not struggling, I'm not in need. You know, I'm okay.
Even if, for example, that should be the case, but even if you finish the money before the month is over,
Yeah.
then the security of that paycheck you're expecting at the end of the following month allows you to go and borrow,
Yes.
either from friends or from wherever. And that person lending you the money is comfortable because they know
Yeah, you'll be
this guy
paid.
is employed,
Yes.
they'll be paid, they'll pay me.
Okay.
In fact, even the mama mboga doesn't have a problem.
Yeah.
You go there every day, pick your vegetables, they record today you took how much, kiosk, the same thing, because they know at the end of the month you will come and you have the money. So that life is what we call financial security. So from month to month or from day to day, if your money comes on a daily basis, like the people who do kibarua or the people who do business,
Yeah.
that security, you live in it on that day. If at the end of the day you're told, tomorrow there's no job, now everything falls apart.
Wow.
Yeah. If at the end of the month you're told, tomorrow there's no job, you have gone back now to square one, where basically you have nothing. That is what is called financial security.
Would you say that space of being financially secure
Yes.
blinds a lot of people from planning for the future?
Exactly.
Because your assumption is always that
The money
I
is,
have a job.
I have a job,
It's a permanent job, I'm secure.
I'm secure, or I have a business that I'm doing,
Yeah.
or I have, in fact, in common speak, we call it hustling. I am a hustler.
Yeah.
And Kenyans, we love
We love
saying,
hustling.
calling ourselves hustlers.
Yes.
And I mean, that is what now prevents us from thinking long term, because it is a false sense of security. You live in that space, and if now the job is over, the immediate thing is to look for another job that is going to give you the security. There's no plan of this job can be over and I never get another job. That one is not something that we think about. So when you start thinking now financial freedom, we want to start thinking, what do I do when I am in this space called financial security, so that I can come out of this space where I'm living from month end to month end and get to a space where even if tomorrow there's no work, next month there's no job, then I'm still able to continue living my life and I'm not worried about security.
That's good. Because
Yes.
I don't think we have a lot of people who live in that space, because even when you look at people who've worked for a long time and they're retiring, or they get their golden handshake and they get a lump sum, and 3-4 months down the line,
The handshake
because
is
the job
finished.
is not there.
Yes.
they
Because
survive.
our wiring is somebody gives you money at the end of the month. So if I give you a lump sum today, then you're not able to think long term with that money,
Because I never have.
because you've never have.
Yeah.
That is why you find even these people who are doing betting, there are some who are lucky and they win
Yes.
those monies, big monies. But if you follow those people, 1 year down the line, even if they had won $1 million, 2 million or whatever, that money is just not there. The same thing with the people who get retrenched and they get handshakes. Somebody walks home with quite a bit of a lump sum, but because we are not trained to think and plan long term, within a very short time, that money is finished.
Okay.
And now, that kind of lifestyle is what has caused the phenomenon that we call the rat race. You know, the rat race, if you ask everyone in Kenya today who's worked for 5 years, 10 years, they will tell you, me, I'm in the rat race. And I'd like us to just understand, then how does financial security lead us into the rat race?
Somebody once said, even if you win the rat race, you're still a rat. Okay.
You're right, yes.
How do these two connect?
Next time on Clean Money Wednesday.
Imagine the young people just finishing university right now with that very good degree. You've done everything that they told you to do. Read hard, get your degree soon. Now you've graduated with your very good degree and you've gone out and you've gotten that very good job. How much do you think right now a very good job is going to pay a fresh graduate?
Not a lot of money.
Not a lot of money?
Probably 60, 70,000 there.
60, 70,000. Sometimes banks are paying 30.
Yes, sometimes even lower.
Yeah, sometimes even lower. So let's take an average of the two and say you get a job that pays you 50. You're just a fresh young man who's graduated and you got that your very good degree. So what is your priority now when you get your first check? Your priority is going to be, I need to move out of my parents' house. You've been living with your parents' house, or you've been living in some hostel that your parents are paying. And therefore, your first priority is to move out, so that now independence and freedom. So you move into your own house. I want us to budget now for your 50,000.
Okay.
This is Clean Money TV.